Harry's book end in smoke. Sussex yelling in rage as his memoir rejected by publisher multiple times. This week's edition of Us Weekly reports Prince Harry's publishers haven't been impressed by the first few iterations of his highly anticipated memoir. While the Duke's book was initially slated for a 2022 release, the project no longer has a publication date. And now, sources fear that Harry's work hasn't been up to par. Everything is up in the air, and the first few drafts of the book have been scrapped, an insider spills. Publishers aren't paying Harry $20 million to rehash old material or write a book that's based solely on wellness. They want to shake it up with new gossip. According to the article, the Duke's publishers want him to turn up the heat by writing about his recent trip to England. This book needs to represent Harry's life in full. So it makes sense to include his return back home and his participation in the Queen's Jubilee this June, since it will unquestionably be a key component in his personal journey, the tipster dishes. Harry's publishers want to touch on the aftermath of leaving royal life, and that part of the story isn't finished yet. Projects like these get delayed for all sorts of reasons, and we will likely never know why. And that's because if Harry and his team were to provide an explanation, they likely risk giving away too much about the book. It's possible that Harry's first drafts were unsatisfactory to the publisher. Or, maybe, Harry himself needs more time to produce something that's up to his own standards. It is his story that he's selling, after all. It's also just as possible that the delay was out of his control entirely. Maybe he needed more time for personal reasons, or maybe the publisher thinks 2023 would work better for their schedule. The possibilities are truly endless. So, anything that tabloids like these have to say is total speculation, and we should always take them with a grain of salt. In June, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry returned to the UK as a couple for the first time since they stepped down as senior royals in January of 2020. The trip did not going according to plan. Many royal watchers were hopeful that the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebration would offer an occasion for the two dueling factions of the Windsor clan to bury the hatchet. Instead, by all accounts, the Jubilee only made things worse, both in terms of relations among the royals, and the Sussex's reputation among Brits. Perhaps in the interest of doing damage control, Meghan and Harry have already planned a return trip to the UK and the European mainland. In September, the couple will visit England and Germany in support of various humanitarian causes. The British tabloid media has described the trip as Harry and Meghan's royal tour, with some alarmists going so far as to allege that the Sussexes are attempting to establish their own royal family. We highly doubt that the couple is plotting anything quite so extreme. But it's worth noting that there are no plans for Harry and Meghan to visit the royals during their time in the UK. The couple announced their plans through a spokesperson earlier this month. Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are delighted to visit with several charities close to their hearts in early September, the statement read. Immediately, the British media began digging for greater detail, and they were presumably delighted when insiders indicated that the Queen likely would not be making time to visit with Harry and Meghan during their trip. One alleged reason is the ongoing concerns surrounding Harry's upcoming memoir. A source tells the Daily Beast that the royals are treating Harry with caution until his memoir, due out later this year, is published.